Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the man, myth, the legend, Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
Good, man. Something we stumbled across at the end of video one has suddenly become hopefully the hottest video of the day. And that is a brand new strategy where investors and homeowners could work with a great mortgage broker and figure out a way to get the seller to buy down your rate, get you into cheaper 30-year money. Tell me about it. This is an amazing strategy that homeowners, home buyers, and investors should be using. Tell us about it.
Sure. And I'll send you the video so you can link it down below. The funny part is I made this video early in the week and rates have gotten better across the board. But nonetheless, it's one of those things where people talk about paying points and buying down the interest rate and like, hey, what's my break even? Is it this long? Is it that long? Should I do it? What if you paid points to lower your interest rate to get a better payment, but you weren't the one paying? What if it was the seller? We are entering a market where this is possible. I couldn't tell you to do this in 2000 or 2021. You would get laughed out of the building, right? Trying to write an offer with seller credit. But as things have changed, we're in a market to where a seller's got something that's sat on the market for 17 days or 21 days. And you come along, and if for your budget, paying their $500,000 doesn't make sense because it's a couple $100 more expensive than you want to pay per month, you can write $500,000. And here's the thing too, like sellers are funny. You can write $500,000 with a seller credit of $9,500, and sellers are going to like that offer more than they like an offer of $490,000, $500,000.
Oh, no, absolutely right. I've been doing seller finance deals forever, and I can't tell you how many times I've given them their number, but asked for credits or discounted rates or all of this stuff. So many people are like, I overpaid for a building one time and got 0% interest. Trust me, I was happy to do that deal.
Right. I think you won on that. Yeah. And so in an example where you're buying for 500, you're putting 5% down. So the loan amount is 475, 9,500 in credit is 2 full points.
Wow.
And you can go in the example I did, which to me, was only a few days ago, but rates were slightly higher. The rate without paying any costs at all was about 5.875.
Okay.
You use those 2 points, you buy it down to 5.125. Wow. That takes 34.89 payment down to 32.66. You've all of a sudden saved $223 a month. Doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. That's what's important to buyers is you don't necessarily have to do a break-even analysis. It's on the seller.
It doesn't cost you a thing.
It's on their dime, right? Yeah. And I did this rate buy down where we went from 5.8 to 5.1 on a primary. It works just the same on an investment property.
Absolutely.
And there's actually more flexibility with passing QM, which paying too many points on a primary, you might, fail this test where it's not a qualified mortgage and it might just get kicked back. Hey, you can't pay this many points. There's a little bit more flexibility on the investment side. Sure. So I priced a scenario where you're buying something for 500,000. You do your numbers at 6.625 and you say, listen, I can't pay 3,000 a month. It's just not going to cash flow. This is not a deal.
Right.
If you write the same offer for 500, I got to update my spreadsheet here because I changed the price even. And you ask them for 11,250, which on a 375 loan is 3 points.
Okay.
You can go from 6.6 to 5.3.
Wow.
Now you've got 30-year fixed money on an investment property for 5.3. In my experience, paying points is more common on investment properties because a lot of buy and hold investors just want to set it and forget it. Agreed. Myself included. I just want to know, I've got a locked in position when it comes to my debt. Rents can increase over time. That's a great little, cherry on top. But as far as the debt payment goes, those 3 points might just saved $300 a month on this purchase scenario.
I want all home buyers and investors to hear this. I believe this is a strategy every one of you should be using today. If you've heard my strategy, and I'm going to add this to mine, over the last 6 weeks, I've changed my strategy from looking at first day listings to 15 days on market. Business Insider actually picked up that video and created an article out of it. Last Sunday it was published, Olivia and I. I'm now going to add this. I'm going to work with you. You can give your website again, greatmortgagebroker.com. I'm going to figure out how I can get seller credits. Maybe I'll give a little more on price, but I'm going to get my credits because I want a lower rate. I'm a set it, forget it guy. If I can get the seller to pay 3 points on my non-QM loan and get 5% money or 5.25 or 5.5, that's awesome. My cash flow explodes. So again, I want to be very clear. Every one of my followers, every home buyer needs to understand this strategy. If they want to reach out to you and get examples so they know how much to ask for, how should they do that?
If you go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, we'll get you set up. We'll get you pre-qualified. Without being pre-qualified and knowing your initial numbers, I don't think this conversation necessarily, matters besides knowing the general idea of it. But, people are employing this and to follow up with what you said about, maybe I pay them a little more. Fortunately, I think a lot of people in a lot of markets are going to be in a position, you don't have to say, hey, I'll offer you 510 and give me 10,000 towards the buy down. You can offer 500 and the seller credit. You can, in my opinion, going forward, probably even say, hey, listen, I'm willing to pay you $495 with this credit, $490 with this credit. So you're going to get it for a less price plus the seller credit. And, it's going to allow you to basically structure your deal, for a primary residence, you want to know your budget and try to get a deal within that budget. For investors, it's a really cool tool because then, as you should be doing, you look at a property, you look at rents, you look at capital expenditures, you look at all the other things that go into it and say, here's the number that I need my debt payment to be to make my return work. If that number, is not a number you're currently getting, what happens if the seller gives you credit and helps you buy the rate down? In my example, it's $300 a month. That's going to change your figures. And this is going to allow you to, get into deals. And I'm like you, I want the money just to be set and the financing to be set. That's, the beauty of long-term financing.
Yeah, folks, again, the market is changing. We are going to fear of missing out on the seller side. I'm not looking at first day listings, nor should many of you. Look at, 15, 20, 25 days, realize that I'm going to get the best price I can, but I will in all my offers ask for seller credits. Why not try to get points down? Again, sellers fixate on the price. Great. Ask for 5, 8, 10, whatever it is. Reach out to greatmortgagebroker.com, figure out what it is for you and your scenario. I want to be clear one last time. Every one of my followers, every one of my students needs to watch this video, understand it. We need to get the best deals we can. Set it, forget it. Go get that 30-year money. Have the seller buy down your points. The market has changed. Go get great deals. Matt, where can people find you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out that form. Let us know where you're at and how we can help. I'm excited about the strategy because I know it works. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it in play and, it doesn't work in all markets. It didn't work in 2020 and 2021, but in the current market we're in, where sellers, I'm already seeing it. I'm already hearing it. We'll talk about that in another video. They're starting to feel a little bit of pain. They're starting to, relinquish and give some concessions. Exciting times for buyers and investors.
Yeah, I'm so excited by the market that's coming. It's going to be easier to find motivated sellers. And if I get a motivated seller to buy down my rate, win, win, win. Thanks,
yes,
buddy.
sir.